What if you do it the other way? It'll give a little bit because it's lower.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was
You can't go too far. Why, hello again. Uncle Mike here. Would you like to read a book with me? Today we are on site in beautiful Tahiti. Check it out. Look at that coral in the water. And this is our hut. We're a hut on the water. Gorgeous. There's a little dock for us to go swimming with the fishes. Well, today we're going to read a local book by a local author. The book is called Tikei Wind Rider by Rai Chaze. Tikei Wind Rider by Rai Chaze, illustrated by Rai Chaze. There was once a young man named Tikei. He wasn't very tall. He was slender, agile, and quite strong. His skin was tanned, and his hair was black like the night. He was always wearing a pareu made of fine tapa. He also wore a headdress made of tapa, adorned with ferns and scented flowers. He was born on one of the Tuamotu Islands. He was always found traveling the seas. He was a great navigator. He would travel from one island to another across the great ocean of Moana Nui. The Maohi people were always such skilled navigators. They had a complete understanding and knowledge of the ocean. They would wander across it from one end to the other. Meanwhile, Europeans were content traveling along the coasts of their continents. Tikei knew better than anyone else how to navigate the seas. He knew the ways of the stars and planets. He knew how to use the underwater currents to his advantage. The only knowledge he still needed to acquire was that of the winds. One day, as Tikei was busy fixing his canoe, an odd wind started blowing across the sandy beach. Tikei increased his work. He sat still to listen to this wind. He first wanted to feel where it came from and wanted to know where it was going. By doing so, he was able to hear the odd sound it was making. The sound grew stronger until it became a deafening sound which filled the wind. The wind started circling Tikei. He grew with fear, but did not want the wind to feel it. Uh-oh. Who are you, O wind? I am the wind of the canoes. I am filled with the song of the seas. What do you want from me? Tikei, who voyages through the day with the rising sun and cruises through the night following the moon, you must go into the valley to build a new pirogue. Why a new pirogue? I already have one. She travels the waters beautifully and has carried me many times across the seas of Moana Nui. You shall build a canoe who will carry you on the wings of winds. What must I do? Before you may approach the tree, you shall dance around it from sunrise to sunset for 3 straight days. Which dance shall I dance, Ahanavi? You shall dance the dance of the winds, which spin from the skies to the earth and the oceans. Let the winds guide your steps, Tikei. Release your mind to the winds. Tikei laid down, face on the ground, his arms along his body. He remained silent. In the midst of the silence, while laying in the clearing by the purple tree, his soul whispered, I enter the gathering of the winds, dance of beauty, dance of joy, dance of strength, dance of love, dance of freedom, and dance of the infinite universe. Tikei looked up and looked up to the sky. The clouds were changing colors. They went from white to purple and started to swirl in the space, the night stars starting appearing. A few of the stars began to grow larger than Earth, larger than the moon, larger than the sun. Such a sight filled him with joy. He had felt as if his soul was dancing, followed by his spirit and his whole body. As the night started to settle, Tikei stopped dancing and laid onto the ground once more. His face was against the dirt. He fell asleep in the clearing by the foot of the purple tree. When morning came, he rose up to his feet and looked up at the sky. He danced to the rhythm of the clouds, who were slowly turning purple and were swirling in the wind's dance. For 3 days, Tikei danced with the winds. For 3 days, he slept by the purple tree, face down against the dirt. By morning after the 3rd night, Tikei stood tall by the tree. But just as he was about to raise his arms toward the sky, he realized he was kept prisoner of a net. Uh-oh. It was a very thin net. So thin, he thought he could tear it apart with just one hand. But it was not a net. It was a giant spider web woven all over him throughout the dark of the night. He could not free himself from it. At a distance, at the edge of the clearing, Tikei saw a giant spider walking away. It stopped, turned its head around to look at Tikei, then kept heading away, sneering. Tikei was struggling inside the web. He was punching it with all his might, trying relentlessly to tear a hole in this finely stitched web. Whenever he was successful creating an opening, the hole closed back up on its own, even tighter than the one before. Hopeless, he cried out to the purple tree. He revolved on itself but could not help. He cried out to the winds, which started blowing all around him, but he could not help. Then arrived Ahanavi the mist. She approached him laughing. Poor Tikei! That tricky spider trapped you without any trouble. Ha 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 ha! You look pretty silly right now. Ahanavi, stop mocking me, please. Please help me get out of this mess. Hurry, I can't take it anymore. Please. Oh no, what do you think is going to happen to Tikei? Do you think he's going to get out of that spider web and be able to sail his boat? To find out, you can click on the link below. Also, I found this book on my flight from Los Angeles to Tahiti. There's a bunch of books that the author Rai Chaze has on the flight. The author Rai Chaze was born right here in Tahiti and lives here to this day. She has included a lot of her books on the airline Air Tahiti Nui. Some of her other books include Kahai and His Kite, Kirahu's Royal Quest, Mataroa and the King of Birds, and the Moonshell. I can't wait to check those out too. And you can find them all by clicking on the link below. By the way, I'd like to give a special thanks to my wife, Candy, who's recording this video right now. And for letting me take the time out of our vacation to record this video. Thanks, Candy. Okay, that's it for today. Now we're going to go snorkeling and go look at some fish. Bye.